me, I'm using public Wi-Fi near a bathroom that's public. So probably gonna have really bad latency or lag or whatever. But I have an hour and a half to kill before I can go home. So I got off work at 4, and the exterminator was supposed to come to my place. This is a new place. There was already cockroaches at my last place, and that's why I moved. But now I'm at this place, and I have bedbug problems. So this started back in, I don't know, like halfway through August, and I pointed it out to the landlord and the company management and whatever as soon as I knew it was bedbugs. And then they sat around for about a week and a half until they finally decided to do something about it. And because property managements are, horribly greedy and lazy pieces of shit, they decided to go with the absolute cheapest exterminator that they could find. This guy doesn't have any steam cleaning tech stuff. I don't even think it's actually a company. I think it's just like an exterminator that might even be freelance. And this guy has come 5 times now, and 3 of those times he's been over an hour late. And the point of this thing is that I have bed bugs, but my unit is not the main source of the infection. They're coming from the neighbor to the adjacent place on this side, and they're coming in on this side, and they're coming in through the baseboards. So he came the first time, and he determined that it's definitely a bed bug thing, and then he sprayed the areas, and then he came back several more times, and every time it looked like they were gone, and then I would still check all the traps. Oh, and speaking of traps, when he came the first time, he put down 2 traps for my entire 1-bedroom apartment. 2 traps, and he put them he put one in the kitchen, and he put one in the middle of the baseboard wall. That seems to be where they're coming from. So after about 3 treatments, the property people got back to me and said, you need to get rid of your couch, and you need to get rid of your recliner. My $1,000 recliner that I still haven't finished paying off. Yes, this is the same recliner as the 2023 Slash Raptor Show episode. It's that recliner, so that is gone. I had to throw it out, and there was nobody to help me get it out of my unit and downstairs to the garbage can, because the person who would normally do that doesn't work weekends, and he decides when he comes in for something that's like an emergency. But none of this was told to us, and none of this is anywhere written down anywhere, not even on his door. So as far as we know, unless you specifically ask them, he'll say it doesn't tell you that he only works Monday through Friday. So then he just goes away completely until Monday. And if you have a problem, then you're shit out of luck, because he's not going to come back. If there's a fire or something, then he will come back. But that's not the problem. So I had to use my limited upper body strength and my neighbor, and then the other guys on the other side. And then it took 4 people to get that couch outside. And there was a lot of damage to the walls, and it got stuck through the door and a lot of crap. But eventually we managed to get it out to the curb, and the armchair was trivial. I just ripped it apart, because they said that the bed bugs had gotten into the wood and were eating the wood, so it was losing its strength. And the couch is leather, so I don't know why they were in there. They don't like leather. They like fabric. So they're like they're like cockroaches in that way. But anyway, they just told me that I have to get rid of them, and they didn't offer any help or anything. And I didn't even pay, and I had to pay. And then I also had to pay to have that stuff hauled away to the dump. And they didn't haul away the neighbors' mattresses. When the exterminator came for the first time, he put those mattresses out by the garbage, which is a crime. You can't do that because bed bugs. They should have immediately been taken to the dump. And it was at first stated to us that it was the property man, like the landlord's responsibility, or like the on-site caretaker, who is also the same guy that doesn't work weekends. So he just left it there for months. It was there for like a good 2.5 months, and then it never got. And then when I was asking why is that still there, he's like, oh well, it's their responsibility to take out to the curb. And I'm like, did you tell them that? Yeah. I'm like, I don't think you did, because you specifically told me when you put it out there that you would have to rent a truck and take it to the dump later. And you just left it there for 2 months and assumed they were going to know that they have to throw it out themselves. With what money? Every single person that lives in this building has low income. We're all on like basically the Edmonton version of welfare. So where is this money coming from? We already pay $1,500 a month for our rent, and the amount that you get from that thing is like $1,700 Canadian. It's not a lot of money, and that's all we get for the week. I'm lucky in that I have I qualified for a sort of sponsorship thing, so that I only pay half of my rent and then they pay the other half. But for everybody else that's not benefiting from that, that's $1,500 a month, which leaves them with $200 for the rest of the month. And I also have a part-time job, but I haven't worked since August. I've been 4 months without any sort of income other than the welfare. So this whole thing is just gross. And as soon as I found out that my chair was infested with bed bugs, I couldn't bring myself to sit on it, and that was the original reason why I hadn't gotten a chance to sit down and edit it. And now it's that I don't have a chair. Now I have a chair, but it doesn't work at that desk, so I had to switch to using my old laptop. Well, it's not really old, it's 4 years old, but it's the thing that used to be my main computer before I bought that big computer in 2023. So that big computer also, I found out after I moved it and was trying to set it up in my bedroom, is broken. It doesn't turn on. Like, it gets power from the wall because the CPU, like the case that holds all the components, they have these little colored lights that turn that light up to make it look cool. Those work, so it has to be a problem with the power button itself. So I haven't, even if I had still had that chair, I don't have the computer that I need in order to do any editing. And because it's all saved internally on this drive, or this one of the 3 internal drives, I can't turn it on to get the stuff off of it. It's not like it used to be where it's an external drive. So my only hope is that they can fix it and I don't need to get another data backup, because if I do, that is going to unfortunately be the end of the channel, I think, for the foreseeable future, because I can't afford it. I'm already broke as crap because I'm just not working. There's just no work. And then on top of all the extra fees that I've been having to pay with all this bedbug crap. So yeah, it's just been a nightmare. So today is a new holiday, and work decided to not take the day off, and they had us come in for a training session. And we've been doing a few of these throughout the last 4 months. Normally we would be working all very consistently in September. This is a very unusual situation. It's always slow in the summer month, and we're used to that. But by now we would be perfectly fine. So the least that they're doing is giving us a way to earn some money. So it's not a work shift, because we don't go and do our jobs, but we do go in to work, and it's they call them training sessions, but I think it's just like a little exercise of team building and stuff. But it's fine because they pay you for it as if it is a shift. So I had to leave before the exterminator came today. Oh, and actually he came Thursday, last Thursday, and it's now Monday. He came, it's the 20th now, and he came on the Thursday, so that's Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So yeah, he came like 4 days ago, and that was supposed to be the potentially the last treatment that he would need, and he decided to not wear his uniform when he came, and he just looked so unprofessional. He was on time, but he came, and before he started treating and spraying, he checked all the traps and he cleared my unit from any presence of infestation. But he didn't actually look. Like, I watched him do it. He stood like maybe 3 feet away from the door to the unit, and then he like peeked on his he like leaned on his toes and peeked at all the traps that he could see, which is only like half of them that are actually there. Some of them aren't even rotated in a way that he could possibly see them. So he did not look at basically he only looked at like 2 traps and deemed that because he didn't see any bugs in those 2 traps that my whole unit was clear. But then after I got back from killing time to let the fumes
all I ask is that live on in your memory, 'cause I will remember you.
Anyway, no, so yeah, this was on Thursday, and I had a big doctor's appointment that I had been waiting for. So we can't cancel the doctor, and we can't cancel the exterminator because he comes when he comes, and you have to just make it work. You're not given the opportunity to say, no, sorry, I won't be home that day. So we made it work. And when we got back from that and all the running around in errands, we were cleaning up and like getting everything ready, because it's like finally it's over, we can go back to our normal life. And we were gonna like do some reorganization, and then I was eventually gonna be able to set my computer up and get back to editing. But that didn't happen because we found more bed bugs in the traps, because those were new traps that we had put up. So at some point between the time that he was there and we came back, there was like quite a few more. There was like 3 or 4 bugs total in the traps, which means there could be countless more crawling around. And it only takes like 1 or 2 to go back to a full-blown infestation. I got lucky in that I was a secondary casualty of this whole thing, because it was the unit next to me that had the full-blown infestation. They were everywhere. The first time that he came, it was like a really bad case that he had seen. Mine, it was bad, but it wasn't like that bad. It's bed bugs are bed bugs, so it's not good to have even a minor infestation. So all of this stuff that I've had to pay for and all the stuff that I've had to get rid of, where's the money for that supposed to come from? If they had gotten off their butts immediately after I told them about the bugs and hired a competent exterminator, instead of just going the absolute minimum, because the bylaws for this kind of thing say that they're required to provide an exterminator, but it doesn't say anything about how good of an exterminator to go through. But I don't understand the logistics of why they would hire this guy that barely qualifies as an exterminator, when he's going to have to come back again and again and again and again and again, when he could hire a professional one, have them heat treat every single unit once, and then it would be done. So apparently they think that one treatment for only the affected units is going to be more expensive, which is stupid. And also, even if there's no bed bugs in other units, you're supposed to do the whole building, and they're not. Because I know. Because they've only done mine, the neighbors, and then the neighbor on the other side of the hall, who only got a couple of bugs because they probably carried over from me. And that's the same guy that was in the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy stream. It's that guy. So yeah, he's at home now. And I had a plan, because by the time I got out of work, it would be clear, because it's about 4 hours until it's safe to go back in. And so I had a plan where I was just going to walk home, and then by the time I got there, I'd be good to go. But he was 2 hours late, which means that now I have to wait until 6 o'clock before I can go home. And it's a holiday, and so almost everything is closed. It took me like 15 minutes to walk to a public bathroom and find a public bathroom that I could just pee in. Like, even the library's closed, and it's like supposed to be the library. Like, why would the library close at all? And also, there's a lot of things that are just going out of business or not able to, you're not able to reach it because of all the fucking construction. It's just like probably the absolute worst timing for something like this to happen in conjunction with a holiday. So yeah, that's why I'm sitting here, because I can't go home because it's gonna be toxic. And in the time since I had to throw out my old chair, I have a new chair that we got for $200, which is, it's okay, it's not great, but I'm limited in funds. So the end goal now is that we're gonna try and make a case against them and take them to the landlord and tenant court for all this bullshit, and hopefully after all of that they will give me some of the rent back for all the inconveniences and stuff that they should be paying for or should be providing that they said they were going to and didn't. I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to ruin the case, and it's not important, I feel, because they have to keep coming and spraying rather than, rather than move everything every couple of weeks. I'm just leaving everything the way it was after I set up for the first proper treatment. And yeah, so it's just you can't just clear a building without actually looking. And if that's what he and now we're rethinking that he probably did the same thing with my unit that he did with the neighbors. So when he gave them the clear, because they got cleared earlier than me, which makes no sense because their infestation was worse. But anyway, there was a point where it actually looked like it was done, and so I actually can kind of understand why he would have given me the clear. That's what I was expecting to happen, but he didn't actually look in the traps. And also, it wasn't until the fourth time that he came to treat the unit that he actually took the old traps that he had put out the first time he came and replaced them with new ones. So whenever he was looking at them to see, are they all dead? Are they all dead? There was no way for him to know which ones were old and which ones were new. That's not a thing anymore. Now you can definitely tell, and we also have our own traps that we've been putting out. So that's how we were able to figure this out. We only found 3 bugs, but that definitely means that they're still there. And this is not over. So, and every time that he's late, there's never an explanation. I tell them, look, I have to be at work. Luckily, my mom had the day off, so she was able to go and be there and let him in, and I was able to go to work because I really need the money. But this is not acceptable. This is not good. You can't just do the absolute bare minimum for bed bugs because they're hard to kill. That's why they're a pest. I don't mind the bites. They're not even biting me very much. For a very long time, we thought that my bedroom, we've kind of figured that my bedroom has never had them in it because I was sleeping in the living room for a different reason that I'm not going to get into in this stream. But yeah, so we put there are traps in there, and there's been the occasional bug, but there's never been a bunch of them in there because I have a bed bug proof cover on my bed, so even if they were to get in there, they can't get on the bed. So I can at least sleep in there. But this whole time I haven't seen anywhere in my unit except the living room and the kitchen, because it's kind of connected. So yeah, my computer I had to take in to the shop. It's insured. I have a warranty and I have insurance on it, so it should be free. But I'm worried that if something happens to if something ends up happening to to the hard drives that I'm not going to be able to afford the money to repair that data. Like, the only reason I was able to do that the last couple times that happened is because I was living with my grandparents and they were nice enough to offer to pay it for me. But I can't afford it now. Like, I just can't. So if my computers are fried and all of the files and all of the unfinished videos go, then I think that's gonna be the end of the channel. Because, like, what's the point? Because all the good videos that I wanted to share with you will be gone. And I do have a backup, but it's not very up to date, and it doesn't work on the computer that I have. I do have one, but if the computer is broken in other ways, then it won't matter, because it's got the three drives. So the C drive is where I've been keeping my games, and then also my editing stuff, and then the B drive is like movies and stuff, and then the C drive is the main stuff. And I still haven't paid off that computer fully either, but it is insured because I didn't have to charge for anything. So hopefully they can fix it, and hopefully I'll get it back and it's not damaged, and I can set it up somewhere that isn't in the living room, and then I'll finally be able to get back to editing and give myself something to distract myself. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Just wanted to update you guys. Yeah, there was also some videos that I filmed during the move from my old apartment into the current one, and that was all about the exterminator and the movers and the cockroach and cockroaches and stuff. But I'm not going to upload those because I don't think they're going to be very interesting. I'm just going to get rid of them. I had a couple of them, and there was like some continuity stuff in there, but that also kind of started at the same time as the first few of those burger videos, because like the first one was like day 7 or something of the 15. So yeah, I'm not gonna upload those. But anyway, I gotta go kill a little bit more time, and then so that I can be home at about 6, and then hopefully this is the last time they'll have to come, and that it's not still toxic, because I don't think there's anybody home that I could go over to wait. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been going through, and it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. How do you stop this? Is it here? Yes.